तितके मुद्दम आमकां घालची पडूंक जायना. Our life should be such that we will start looking at everything positively.
This is something we have to
look
really
at when your
think and
child
put in-
enters the school.
Right.
You know, one day the child will become a doctor or an engineer, and his child will come in between. You are so much worried. Are has homework karuna, ye karuna, te karuna. But if you tell yourself, no, this child is born to be an engineer, he is going to be an engineer. The child will go to that level. Why do you have to be after him for this small issues? Because we are not looking at the future. So fude kide kartolo? And how much
This is a common worry of the parents.
with this one sentence, tuje fude kide jatle? Yeah, sentence do you know how many of our children we discourage them in their lives? तू असे करता तसे करता पुढे किती आतले रे तुझे? Very common sentence we use. आणि करून किती करता? We discourage him.
Okay.
While if we make him believe, yes, you are going to be a doctor, you are going to be a great doctor, and if he believes that, there is no way of stopping him.
Okay.
You can never stop him whatever he wants to be in life.
Right. So even keeping positive attitudes for the parents is also
It is here the child develops.
Right.
What happens
and
in
it
your
has
house.
to start very early.
आणि हे आमकां कळना बारीक बारीक वस्तू त्यो सहज जावन चल्ल्यो आणि त्यो वस्तू जर आमी नेगेटिवली करत. Okay. I'll give you a small incidence of a child who came to me. Up to 5th, 6th standard, the first standing child. Okay, first standing, a doctor's son, stands first in the school. Fifth, 6th suddenly fails. Then he somehow is pushed, but he is nowhere in the list. He is pushed, goes to the next class, and he is almost lost in his studies. The child was brought to me. So I complained. Then I went into, I had time that day. I sat down with the child, went into, the child saw him, you know, and I traced him to a day when this catastrophe happened. One day, the teacher asked him a question, asked him to stand up and answer. He stands up, but he could not answer. Okay, fine. He could not answer. He did not know the answer for the teacher's question. You know what was the reaction of the teacher? किधर आहे तू? तुझो बापू यादव व्हडलो दोतोर मरे आणि तुका हे कळना? कितें करतलो? And he mocks at him. And the whole class laughs at him, at him. And this one instant is there so much inside the mind of that child. When it came out, when I pulled that episode out of his mind, the child tears were flowing down the child's eyes.
You know, in last episode you talked about self-esteem. So I think here the child's self-esteem was challenged.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Not even challenged, destroyed. And this is exactly what we should teach even our parents. A child is made up, number one, by his mother, by his father, by his family, and people inside the family. Then the whole character is done by the teacher. The teacher's importance is extreme.
Right.
And भुरगे जेन्ना college, schoolan, collegean वतानी, whatever the teacher says, they believe. I remember when my son was small, there was one spelling mistake that he did. And wrote some parrot or some mistake. I don't remember exactly what was the word. And I told him, this is not like this, this is like this. No, he said, Daddy, my teacher wrote it like this, so teacher is right.
Oh, so they have so much of trust.
If this is the relation, this is how a child looks at a teacher. Do you know how a teacher should look at that child? Child is one, teacher is one. But for a teacher, there are so many children. So the teachers have to have that attitude which makes something out of children. Even in health, teachers should be able to create that attitude into the children. If that happens, wonders can happen. Absolutely wonders can happen into this world. I think the teacher should be trained on these small issues of only history to घेऊन सोडूनच दे. That somebody can read it and find out. But how you approach that child, how you confer with the child, and how you build up the self-esteem or the confidence inside the child, that will matter much more to that child than anything else.
I think this is a note that we all should make, as parents, as teachers, as whoever that can be instrumental in bringing up the child. Because these are the small things that matter a lot.
They make or break you.
Yes.
Okay. There are no two things in that. No, the child is like a clay at that time. It is how you shape it up. Then it will remain. So that is the time when we are shaping it. If you shape it badly, it goes totally haywire.
So I think we are not in an era where you must be knowing that song Chadi Bashe Cham Cham Vidya. So I think that was not the right kind
Chadi
of.
like Cham Cham Vidya.
So I don't think that that has worked. So
that's because a child mind is as good, as sharp, or even sharper than ours. So we have to be careful when we are handling that.
Right.
And all that we got to do is learn to be little practical, learn to be powerful, learn to be positive. That's all. Very, very simple.
So this was one of the examples wherein we have to erase the past and look into the future.
Then we have to
by tackling that child, you have erased his past.
Absolutely. But I could erase it only because I could pick it up.
Yes.
So when we picked it up, I made the child look at the teacher differently. I made him, you said, you create teachers, go and bang the teacher.
And
fight back and tell the teacher, I'm going to be more smarter than you. I said, I made him write those few letters on his book. So everywhere in his study room, he wrote, I am going to be better than this teacher.
Right. So you made him write the affirmations.
Absolutely.
Because you have mentioned about importance
I made
of affirmations.
him challenge the teacher not by going and hitting him, but by being better than what he could do otherwise.
Right.
And in no time, the child is already a doctor.
So affirmations work.
Affirmations works.
Because we have discussed
Kitlesh's good thoughts and we read. We want them to be translated. But gara vachna pade, our impact of our life is so much, we tend to forget it. So few lines, if you read it, even I have lines written on my desk. Okay, and I'll write on the book. Whatever happens to me is for good. Okay. And a lot of this, every day is a good day. Today is the day I'm going to have a day. And when I read that early in the morning, well, you go through these affirmations again and again and again. They are there with you. They don't make you forget. So even when
so telling yourself that you are good and then you can do it matters most. And you have also mentioned about this point wherein think of yourself as a cause. And
rather than the
effect. So that I would like to, I'm very curious about. Because we always think of the effect. You
never think, okay, I will go and do this.
Right.
I am the cause for this thing to happen.
We always think that we are the victims of the circumstances because we concentrate on the effect. So
this sentence, we are the victims of our circumstances, is an absolutely imaginary sentence. There's nobody in the world who is ready to destroy me. Why should I be destroyed?
Right.
Okay? Unless you are a president of a country. We should create a lot of karanas. I create Korea, but negative karana तैयार करूँगा ना.
Right.
When any of my staff comes and something has not happened and he starts giving me this, I just close the book, tell him, you go when you forget all your reasons to not to do this, then I listen to you. So, reasons or excuses, what do you call them?
Alibis.
The day we learn to, the day we stop doing these excuses, we'll grow. Suppose I have not done something. If I go and tell my boss, sir, I have not managed to do this. Enough. Rather than giving excuses, I'm busy, I had one employee who used to be absent whenever he wants.
Okay.
And every time he used to be absent, somebody in the family was dead. आज माझी मावशी मेली, फाल्या माझा काका मेलो, परवा आणि कोण मेलो. हे सप्ता finally one day he said, my mother died. Within half an hour, not even half an hour, his mother was there in front of me telling me, I want to take him for a, we have something in the house, I want to take him. Right? Half an hour back he's saying, I want to go home because my mother died. Creating excuse is the best way of destroying yourself.
Yeah, and then
both
once
in your
you
career
start,
as well as
and
in-
once you start giving reasons, that means you don't want to be active.
It is too much of a negative attitude. Too much.
And it fails our purpose, like of being alert and active.
You are nowhere close to it. You are all the time. You are actually drowning yourself into the ocean, and where your health is on top, and you are drowning yourself.
And this the person doesn't realize. He's not aware of that. He's doing this. So again, the affirmations, I think, come.
No excuse has any value in anything in life.
Right.
We always like to create excuse, thinking that others will pardon us for not doing the thing. But this is not correct. Anybody will pardon you for telling him, no, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what has happened, this has happened. And then immediately you will go ahead, he will give you a solution. Okay, I know this did not, तुझ्याकडे झाले ना, असे कर, काम झाले. Then when you finish it, you have your confidence.
Yeah, excuses actually, I think, I may be wrong, but they come when you don't want to do that particular work, and this negativity doesn't work anywhere in life. And this also hampers, our motto of being alert
creates
and
an
active.
absolute depression
Right.
in your thoughts.
Right.
Depression in the generation of new thoughts.
And finally, our goal is to attain centenary,
Absolutely.
being alive till 100, and that is what is defeated.
I'll make it in very simple way. Our goal is to live the life God has given us in a very simplistic way. We are supposed to be living for 100 years. It is not that we are making an effort to live for 100 years. Only thing, yes, we have to be careful. As I said initially, for a test match, the batsman goes on the pitch with an intention, I am going to score 100. So this is how he builds up his inning, and then nothing happens to him. So we have to build up our life in such a way that constantly we are only growing.
Very beautiful.
Growing in our stature, growing in our business, and growing in our health. Health also needs to grow. This is the biggest richness that you have.
Right.
You need to think for it. We only think of our profession. All the time profession, run after profession, here and there, there and there.
Right.
And
At the cost of our health.
Biggest asset you are not developing.
Yes.
If you are healthy, if you are
we forget that health is wealth, and this wisdom has been given to us long back, but still we forget, and still we require all the affirmations.
That's why we require them. I know we are going to forget. तरी असताना आमका ते जाय पडटा.
आणि म्हणूनच आम्ही हांगा येतात. I mean, तुमच्या बरोबर आम्ही कॉन्व्हर्सेशन आमचे चलतात. It is because of for the same reason की आमका याद करून दिवची की what is right and what is wrong, how to have a positive attitude. I think ह्या पुस्तकान आणि ह्या शोन doctor has elaborated vastly on all the aspects that can help us being alert, help us being active and alive. आमचे फक्त असेच पर्पज ना की तुम्ही फक्त 100 हेल्दीली गाठची, पण ऑप्टिमम तुमच्याकडल्यान कितें काम जाता, ऑप्टिमम तुम्ही कशे पॉझिटिव्ह राहतात, हॅपी उरतात. हॅपीनेस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इन ब्लॉसमिंग युअर हेल्थ. विषय असेच आमच्याकडे खूप आसात. आम्ही ह्या बद्दल आम्ही खूप उलोवपाची आसात, चर्चा करपाची आसात. दर शुक्रारा आम्ही तुमकां असेच विषय घेऊन येतली, अँड द डिस्कशन हॅज गॉट नो एंड, बिकॉज हेल्थ अँड वेलनेस अँड मेडिसिन इज सच अ सब्जेक्ट की इट इज सो वास्ट. आणि जितलो आम्ही एक्सप्लोर करतात तितले कमीच आसा. तर असेच तुम्ही आमच्याबरोबर रावात, आमच्याबरोबर डिस्कशन करात, कॉन्व्हर्सेशन साधात, आणि तुमच्याकडल्यान आमकां प्रश्नय तुम्ही विचारात. विल बी व्हेरी हॅपी टू आन्सर अँड डिस्कस ऑन दिस शो. सो आजच्या खातीर हांव तुमचो निरोप घेता, कारण वेळ आमची सरिल्ली आसा. आणि परत मेळुया फुडल्या शुक्रारा रातचे 9:30 वरांचेर ऑन प्रुडंट मिडिया. टील देन, कीप अस इन युअर माइंड, अलर्ट, एक्टिव्ह अँड अलाइव्ह ॲट 100. नमस्कार.